The next match was Heroes and Villains. Brian, did you see the big Superman movie tie-in?
Oh, they already do the video at this point in the show with Omega and MJF or not yet?
I don't know because I didn't
Oh,
make any notes on it
they
because
did.
I was just so yeah, I know I saw it.
Yeah,
But
the actor who plays the new Superman, the actor who plays Lex Luthor, they both towered over the wrestlers.
yeah, well,
And
I'm glad you noticed that. Yeah, the actors were 6 inches taller than both of the wrestlers, and MJF is not a giant. We know that, but the Superman guy, who now facially these actors look like they wouldn't say boo to Mother Teresa. They're not like intimidating, but they're tall. And the Superman guy was 6 inches taller than Kenny. Or is he just stooped over since they took his guts out?
this is the first time we've seen Kenny since he got hospitalized, and he's out there with a cape on, standing next to Superman. I know he'd be out there at the end of the show, but this is the first time we saw him since he got attacked.
He looked like a real swashbuckler. The cape, he could have, if he'd had a top hat and a cane, he could have fucking turned into Mr. Hyde.
His head always looks like it's about to explode. If you look at pictures of him, like, it looks like it's like bloated to the point where it's going to explode at any second. I don't know. That's another one of my thoughts I had there.
Yes, well, jot those all down so we don't forget any of them. But back to Heroes and Villains. I don't know which was which here. It was Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bandito versus the Hardley Boys and Take a Shit. And their travelogue was already over. I thought we were going to see some payoff. They just did a video outside their grammar school and showed the limo full of sneakers. But anyway, they had a 6-man tag sponsored by a comic book with the corpse referee. So, and I just said, well, this is where the kids are going to get to play.
A movie, not a comic book.
A movie of a comic book.
Right.
Can they do it in less than 20 minutes was my question. And son of a bitch, they did it in 12. And I appreciate that because you saved a lot of us a lot of time and just duress. So they beat O'Reilly. And then, of course, nothing's ever over in this company. So they're going to get more of their heat. But Ospreay and Swerve hit the ring and ran them off. And then they started doing the fucking dueling promo to promote their match where they're going to try again to explain to us the stipulations. Because remember last week, it was, wait a minute, the EVP titles are on the line. So what does that mean that the winners, if Swerve and Ospreay win, are they EVPs? What's going on? Well, they're going to clear this up right now.
Oh, that's my favorite part. I was thinking about the other part. I forgot all about that explanation. Who's going to be the EVPs if they win?
Yeah. Well, I think it was an explanation, or maybe it was just something he blurted out because the baby faces wanted the stipulations of the EVP spots being up. And again, only one person runs this. It's Tony Khan. They've established that, but these guys are still EVPs and get away with things for some reason, even though Tony Khan's always on the premises, but he doesn't say anything. But then later on, he'll book a match in 10 seconds. So at first, it was Swerve first that said, a lot of people are saying that if we win, we get to be the EVP. No, if we win, we aren't going to be the EVPs. The people, you fans are going to be the EVPs. Is that official? If Swerve and Ospreay win, then does that mean that the fans are all EVPs and they all get to come to the production meeting? But then the Bucks do the promo. No. Besides, you guys can't get, you guys can't get along. And I don't think Swerve's on board, but also we ain't going to do this because what do we get out of it? Well, then Ospreay comes up with something and he goes over and he whispers to Swerve and Swerve gets the stink face like, what? And Ospreay blurts it out that I don't know what still happens to the EVPs, but if Ospreay and Swerve lose according to Ospreay, then neither he nor Swerve can challenge for the world title for 1 year. What the fuck does the world title have to do with the fuck in this? Neither of the Bucks is the world champion. What do they give a shit about? Help me, Brian. If you guys beat us, then we won't fight other people. But if we win, then the fans get to be the EVPs and you're not.
Why does it help the Bucks if these guys are not world champion?
Exactly. Why would they care? It's not their belts.
And they didn't even say world tag. At first I thought maybe they made a mistake and they meant we won't challenge for the tag team titles because obviously.
But they're not the tag team champions.
Exactly. I mean, even that part doesn't make sense, but neither one of us will challenge for the world title.
Neither one of us will fight another guy if you guys beat us. But if we beat you, then you can't be EVPs anymore and tell people what to do. So the Bucks agree to that. Ospreay talked Swerve into it, by the way. Swerve still wasn't real on board with the whole thing. But Swerve said yes, and okay, it's a deal. And then, for whatever reason, the screen went black and the audio went completely out for like 10 seconds, and then they came back as Swerve and Ospreay were talking to each other and pitched to the break. Did someone flash the camera with their boobages?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened in a multitude of ways. I don't know what happened.
Yes. So they're going to have that match, and those things are going to happen in that match if one of those things happens. That's what we know.
And again, why can't Tony Khan just override any part of this? Why does he allow this all to happen? That's never been explained, especially after they beat him up. Why do the Bucks have any of this power?
Because it makes a good story they came up with for themselves.
I guess it's more enjoyable if you don't try to make things or have things make sense.
Well, but it's always better if you understand what the fuck it is that you're watching in the way of a fake story. Speaking of wondering what you're watching in the way of a fake story, then to make sure that we know that the movie is titled Heroes and Villains, they had another Heroes and Villains match with Swerve and Ospreay against Drilistico and Frank Mortis. And they beat old Drilistico in 10 minutes. And they beat both. They double teamed old Frank Mortis, and he rolled out of the ring, and then they just kicked the shit out of the other guy. They kind of overbeat him. But anyway,